Is that a grenade in your waistband, Grenadier? Or are you just happy to see me? And have you seen the thumbnail or the title of the video? You know, today is all about the troop that I absolutely hate. This is, of course, the resident dweller of the underworld, Dark Anubis. And today we are looking into what, in my opinion, is probably the worst troop in the game. Now, I know I've always said that I'm not a big tank fan. I know, of course, you have your medics and your Grenadiers that people say do a lot less damage than Grenadiers, but just the sheer inaccuracy and lack of damage that these guys do just absolutely ticks me off. But someone did request for some casual Grenadier gameplay, and that's exactly what I'm showing you guys today. Of course, my Grenadiers, because I do not focus on them at all, are only level 5, I believe, and that is on my HQ24 account. So eventually we might level them up a little bit, and maybe we'll come back and check on them to see how well they do. I do apologize for that video cut. There was some technical difficulties, but besides that, here you can see they do okay. They've thus far done alright. I will say they can do okay when it comes to Dr. T. Mind you, I do have the max Grenadiers for each boat, so that is, what, 32 Grenadiers? And of course, we must have a tank troop in front of them, no other than Private Bullet himself. So I wasn't sure going into this video how they would do. Of course, the damage they output, I think for this level plus my statues, is like 350, 400, something like that per shot. So, but they're okay. They're okay. Like I said, the place I find most useful for them, and that I've used them the most, actually in recent times, is Warship Season 50. Oh, of course, our shameless shout out. If you guys enjoy this video and all my casual gameplay, make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel. It is free after all and means the world to me. And turn on those bell notifications for all of the shenanigans that happen on the channel, of course. Going into stage 4 here, the big thing about it is just making sure that we take out that long-range splash damage, because all things considered, Grenadiers have one of the longer ranges in the game, only second to Bombardiers as far as normal troops, and like 4th or 5th compared to some of the prototype troops. But as long as we keep Bullet in front of them and we try to keep them at maximum distance, they at the very least can kind of destroy stuff with collateral damage, considering that they literally never hit their target. I guess if I had to say, if there was one way to buff Grenadiers, up their damage a little bit. I mean, think about the amount of damage that Bombardiers do, and those are precise shots. Same thing with Zookas, but of course Zookas are squishy, so this is kind of the caveat to Grenadiers. Because they're so inaccurate, let them do 600, 700, maybe 1,000 per shot. 1,000 might be excessive, but at least like 600 a shot I don't think is a crazy thing. Of course, the thing that I think benefits them, they are one of the only troops in the game that do collateral damage, which is a bad thing for friendly troops, but a good thing when it comes to mine clearing. So that's why people sometimes like to use them, as they can overshoot, maybe clear some of those shock mines or boom mines that might be scary for your other troops. And as I was mentioning earlier, I have been using them in Warship Season 50. I will say they have definitely found a place in some extent in the meta, especially with those slower tank slash Grenadier comps, or maybe Bombardier Grenadiers or Rifleman Grenadiers, something along those lines. So I would say they find a place and a niche in certain specific situations, but I definitely don't recommend them to use as your main troop. They can maybe be a secondary troop in some situations, but overall, if you're going to use Grenadiers, you might as well use Bombardiers. And if you don't have Bombardiers yet, you're probably better off just using some Zookas, because at least they will burst down. Defense is a lot quicker. But overall, I would say thus far in Dr. T Tropical Island, they are able to pretty much wipe the bases as long as there's not crazy splash damage. and bullet kind of stays in front of that single target damage. Now, unlike bombardiers, they will never outrange sniper towers and mortars. Bombardiers have a very slight line of failure, minute range over sniper towers and mortars. Grenadiers do not, even though they're both considered long-range troops, which I will say is one of the things that agitates me as far as how Boom Beach discusses troop speed and troop ranges, such as laser rangers being medium troop speed but being only slightly slower than warriors, if not the same speed. So it's going to be 5 stages down, of course. So heading into the later stages, Dr. T, and surprisingly we haven't needed to change up our troop combo. We have lost a couple Grenadiers, but nothing super crazy, so I would say that's a win for the most part. Going into stage 6, once again, wanting to make sure we get rid of those super long-range defenses. Rocket launchers, shock launchers are deadly. I'd say rocket launchers more so than shock launchers, but anything that stops bullet accidentally, and then your Grenadiers get in the range and just get shot in the face, probably isn't a good thing. So but kind of like laser rangers, they're gonna do best when defenses are somewhat clumped up and when mines kind of hide in between defenses and aren't like super out of the way. Even if they're somewhat scattered, I would say they do okay. As you can see, all the mine clearing they were doing right there. And yeah, we did leave one rocket launcher up. Like I said, I didn't boost my statues today just because I wanted to see how well Grenadiers could do. We did boost our resource reward because we love our loot, but as far as damage and GBE, this is exactly the kind of damage that the Grenadiers will do. I'm sure if I boosted it, they would have been a little more impressive, but like I said, they managed to survive at the very least, so. I do bring Bullet Energy Drink, which is also level 6, just because we want him to stay alive a little bit longer. You might be able to do something fancy with maybe Shock Knuckles or Taunt, but I would say, like I said, we want to keep Bullet alive as long as possible because snipers, mortars, boom cannons, sometimes cannons, rocket launchers, shock launchers, and just about every prototype defense are dangerous to Grenadiers. I guess the other way, now that I think about it, is maybe make them a little bit tankier. Like I said, what's to stop them from being kind of like a heavy in a sense where they can take more than just 1 or 2 sniper shots. Just some food for thought, I guess. Let me know in the comments, how would you buff Grenadiers, or do you think they're good where they're at? Do you think they have a place that's just pretty rare, or would you like to see them have their time in the spotlight? One was getting sniped down there, so I had to throw some critters. And there we go, stage 6 is down. Boom, 6 stages. Lost a few, but like I said, haven't had any problems. And here we go, stage 7. We did speed this up because, as you will see, this will be our first loss. I know, spoilers, sorry folks, I know some of you don't like to be spoiled, and I know some of you don't like when I really speed up the videos, so let me know, do you guys like the raw, unedited footage? Let me know in the comments, do you like to see the fails and the things that I go through to try to make things work? I definitely don't mind showing. Like I said, Boom Beach is not perfect. Oftentimes, content creators will show their best of their best, but there are a lot of times when hits just don't go well. That goes for any game mostly. Whether it's Boom Beach, you know, main island, or warships, or some other random game that everyone posts their epic compilation videos. But in this video, folks, we are, of course, a casual player's player. And as you can see, we actually clear out most of the stage. It got a little sketchy here because these stupid critters, and I think I lose a couple of my Grenadiers. I think I lost a couple earlier here too. And mind you, the only thing that prevented us from winning in our first go was time. As you're going to see here. Getting oh so close, but with only, what is that, like 12 Grenadiers left? Maybe more, maybe less, I don't count. They just didn't have enough DPS, because I'm pretty sure that core is like 400k health, so. But we do say, screw it, let's go in and try again. Just have to change up our attack strategy just ever so slightly. Do make sure we have to take out those max level rocket launchers. I don't know if they're actually max level. They kind of look max level. Probably not though. Because they are problematic. The other thing that sucks about this particular stage is there's quite a few boom cannons, so. And, spoiler alert, Grenadiers do not survive boom cannons. Trying to clear out this little bit of splash damage. That's kind of the thing that'll stop your attacks of using these, is that splash damage, mostly because it destroys Bullet pretty quickly, so. Bullet, of course, has the passive that reduces damage past a certain threshold, but splash damage like flamethrowers and machine guns aren't really affected by that passive. Once we clear out a little bit of it, now we're going to get our Grenadiers, all of them out, and of course Bullet, and get started on these boomy boys. Dropping the critters there just so we have a little bit of distraction so that Bullet can catch up and get in front. Have lost a couple Grenadiers, but nothing crazy thus far. A couple of them going off to that left side actually isn't a bad play. They get that boom cannon down, at least a little bit. We'll finish it off with our artillery. Well, we gotta get that sippy sip sip. Gotta get that juice, bro. Here we are, just pushing on through. Doing a lot better. I don't think we've lost all that many. I think we're still only down 2. Now, when this critter launcher comes into play, we have to make sure we take care of that, however that is. I think we let Bullet die, just so Grenadiers don't have to worry about ranges, or that critter launcher over carrying. Beautifully done by the Grenadiers. Or, I'm sorry, the critters right there. Stopping that one critter so that my Grenadiers don't literally bomb each other like doofuses. Of course, we're going to lose a couple, unfortunately, to that boom cannon. But like I said, their missing worked out because we ended up taking out both that mortar and critter launcher, so. Don't trust that boom cannon. Let's barrage that sucker out. Also, the cool thing about Grenadiers is when they're at max range, they're actually more inaccurate. So if you can get them ever so slightly closer to that defense or that headquarters or whatever the case is, they actually get a lot more accurate. Still not perfect, still not amazing if you ask me, but we're trying to increase the accuracy ever so slightly, get them closer to the building. Not too close where they bomb each other though, because they will do that too. And there we go, all 7 stages down, but of course, we can't just end the video there. That makes 0 sense. We, of course, gotta show that this casual player can take down Goliaths. And, of course, no better way to show that off than by taking out these silly max players who believe that they can overcome my Grenadier madness. Relatively easy base, and, of course, we have to go about it the only way that we know how to. And that's, of course, with smoky Grenadiers. Like I said, folks, never leave your bases behind, too exposed, because Dark Anubis may just come in there and get you in the booty. Wasn't sure if they'd eat all those mines. Luckily they didn't, because if they did, they probably would have all died right there, so lucked out. Now mind you, if I had boosted my Masterpiece GB or a couple of my statues, this would be a lot easier. But it was a little annoying, specifically because we just didn't have an excessive amount of GB to use, so. Still not a bad amount. Like I said, getting bullet in the front there absolutely saves my Grenadiers. And we're going to slowly chip away at that one rocket launcher that might be problematic. We're hoping that by the time we get to that closer one, oh, just kidding. We decided we were going to barrage that anyway, so. The very far one we don't have to really worry about because the Grenadiers will overshoot and blow that sucker up. Just got a little free clearing happening right here so that we can get some GBE, of course. And then we'll center back out here. Oop, some got shocked. Run, Grenadiers. I'll probably lose a couple here, but c'est la vie. Here we go, getting them all focused on that headquarters, and of course their inaccuracy is proving to be beneficial, wiping out some of those back defenses, including a boom cannon. So, and there you have it, folks. Here we come, about to destroy. And boom, there goes that max player. Nothing but Grenadiers, baby. And now, unfortunately, I had to cheat you guys because this base was a little annoying. So we got to throw a couple mechs in there just to save our lives, just a little bit. Mind you, if I boosted, I probably wouldn't have needed the mechs here, but. And this base is actually set up okay for Grenadiers. The problem is those power amped freaking defenses, and I just don't have a lot of GBE to barrage out. Because mind you, this player is iced. So yes, I am about to beat this iced player with Mechs and Grenadiers. Why? Because we can. And they can't do a god dang thing about it. Mechs kind of act as that secondary tanking troop. You don't really want them to take too many boom cannons and cannons to the face. Because believe it or not, even though mechs have like 20,000 HP or something like that, they go down a lot quicker than you think. Especially against these max level boom cannons doing like 5k per shot or something like that. It's only a few of them that's needed to take down mechs, unfortunately. But of course, mechs do have the one thing that Scorchers do not, and that is the ability to literally just perma-stun. That's why we don't like them in defending Hammermen, but we love to use them otherwise. And because we didn't have the GB, we do have to keep these rocket launchers shocked, at least until the mechs kind of get close up on them. Gonna flare up just so they can hopefully get that rocket launcher. We don't have a lot of GBE to use, so we're just hoping that the mechs will stun long enough, and that's exactly what they did there. And we are slowly, but surely, going through this base. Is it beautiful? Absolutely not. Have we lost a lot of troops? Not really, surprisingly. One mech and one Grenadier thus far. We might lose another mech here, unfortunately, but not bad overall. Oh, there goes the second one. Only 2 mechs, 1 Grenadier. I would say pretty successful, all things considered. And I'm pretty sure we get that back profit-wise. I don't know, we'll find out right now. Yeah, we might have broke slightly even. It shouldn't be too bad. Oh, perfectly fine. Super easy, no problemo. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, we decided, heck no, we aren't going to go for that crazy base. They were mega iced. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want to see some more wacky troops and stuff like that? Let me know in the comments. But of course, as always, I am the resident dweller of the underworld, the casual player's player, the David to max player's Goliath, Dark Anubis, heading out. Peace!
Peace.